Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. It's final day tomorrow, but it's the final week of the domestic seasons. Obviously, we've got the Europa League final tomorrow and the Champions League final on Saturday. Manchester United, they're in the Europa League final. First time they've been on one of these since Jose Mourinho got them there. But I'm with Ciaran and Matt. How are we both doing?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Too bad.
Excited for tomorrow?
Of course, mate. Of course. Final. You gotta be. You gotta be.
I mean, there's plenty to get into. None other than we'll start off easy. You've taken Fergie on this trip. I wonder why.
Yeah, give Ollie a few tips. I mean, to be fair, we should let him manage the 90 minutes. Just let him manage for the game. I reckon it'd be in the bag.
We need Ollie to win a trophy. We need Ollie to win a trophy. Fergie's one.
That's true.
You do, but do you think Fergie would have been able to give him quite a few tips? I mean, Fergie only done this maybe a fair few times at United, getting to a cup final. Only a few times from what I can remember. But do you think that it'll be a calming influence around Ollie? Ollie obviously never facing one of these with United, so just that calming influence maybe?
I mean, to be fair, in some ways you could argue it's calming, but you could also argue it's a bit of extra pressure because, when Sir Alex Ferguson's in town, the players know that they need to perform. But I mean, then again, they've done that before. Obviously, he was there in Paris when we came back from a 2-0 deficit, so I don't think it'll affect them that much, but yeah, I think it's just that extra bit of experience, really. I think Luke Shaw said in the press conference that he doesn't expect Sir Alex to really kind of talk to them that much before the game because they feel like they know what they're doing. They know they've got to this position and they know how important it is, and that's obviously what you want to hear. You don't want to hear them say, "Oh, well, we need Sir Alex to tell us that it's a big game," because they should know it's a big game, but. I mean, yeah, I think it's always good to have that sort of influence around, especially for Ollie if he needs any sort of advice. I mean, there's probably not too many better people in football you could go to really for advice. But yeah, I think it can go both ways, I guess. But I think definitely a good influence, and hopefully whatever he said to Ollie in the past and before the game will help us succeed.
Well, it's reported that apparently they had a quiz yesterday and Ollie managed to beat him on a question. Apparently, so we'll see what that means. Which probably means that Ollie's gonna have 2 black eyes and Fergie's gonna absolutely have destroyed him. But Matt, as I said, we're gonna start easy. I mean, there's plenty of other things that we'll get our teeth into in a bit. But Fergie, a calming influence, Mr. Manchester United. People call Rashford Mr. Manchester United. I'm afraid you're going to have to wait till one of them goes. And I don't think Fergie's going any day yet. So, Mr. Manchester United, travelling to Gdansk, I think is how you pronounce it in Poland, with the team. A calming influence, or is that some unwanted pressure? I mean, Fergie's at every United game anyway. I mean, he travels up and down the bloody country. Up and down the country. So it's not exactly like it's going to be too different for the players having Fergie around. I mean, he has a good relationship with Maguire, so that will be quite good as well.
He comes to training like before every Liverpool game, and apart from our last one, obviously, we haven't really had a bad game against Liverpool, apart from our last one. But yeah, so him in there can't be anything bad. So yeah, might as well bring him along for the.
just bring him along. He's just like, oh yeah, we might as well take Grandad with us. I mean, he's got nothing else to do.
He's been stuck inside for a year. Might as well come to.
He fucking has not, mate. Fergie's
he's at every
raging pandemic or not. Fergie's still sat at Old Trafford going, nope.
Yeah.
I think I watched an interview. It was like, I'm old anyway, so yeah, it's just like. Yeah, he's just there like, I'll just go. It's like, I've had a good life. Like, if it kills me, it kills me. I'm watching United. Like,
here for a good
it's quite simple. Yeah, like I mean, he'll probably be somewhat pleased with this season. I mean, we've seen it before with Fergie coming second. I mean, people act as if coming second never happened under Sir Alex. I mean, it happened a couple of times, admittedly not many, but he had when Jose first came to England, he had to sort of take a back seat then.
Few third place finishes as well.
Yeah, not by choice. So, I mean, do you think Fergie will be somewhat happy of what he's seen this season? It's certainly looking like the United of old. I mean, the comebacks, the away wins,
high scoring as well.
Goals, the goals within the last 15 minutes. I mean, all of which is very sort of United under Fergie. So, do you think he'll be somewhat pleased with how the season went for Ollie?
Yeah, we've done quite well this season, so I don't see why we wouldn't be pleased. It's been my favorite season, not our best season, but my favorite season post Fergie. So yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean it's that continued progress as well, and we'll go into a comment that Ollie made a couple of months ago where he said trophies they cover up sort of what's happening underneath. This
that was taken out of context.
No, I know that. I've defended him more than you can imagine, Matt. Let me ask the question before you start hyping up. But this seems different. This is a United that has progressed each year under Ollie in the league. I mean, he's went from 6th to 3rd to 2nd, so there's clear progression. You're improving points wise every single year. So there's clear progression, and look, if Ollie was to leave tomorrow, he's leaving United in a million times better place than it already is. Do you think that this trophy, and we saw it back with Fergie in the 90s, didn't we, where it was that FA Cup that he won against Palace, and that it really springboarded you onto doing more things in terms of winning. So do you think this trophy, if you can win it, will be something that these boys have the same?
I mean, I think hopefully it is. I mean, obviously we just about got over the semi-final hoodoo, and I think the last thing that we need is to get that in finals and start bottling finals. And I think as well, like for Ollie, I think it's a massive trophy to win, because I think a lot of people have kind of levelled him that whilst we have got second this season and we have showed progress, realistically, he still hasn't won anything, and people obviously still kind of levelled at him. But it'll be a big achievement for him to win something, and I think big mentality booster as well for the players, because even though we've got some players in there who like have won stuff, Paul Pogba's won the World Cup and other trophies, De Gea obviously, Rashford's won some stuff, Cavani, we've got players in there that have won titles before, but we haven't really with this team within this group. We haven't really, won anything. We obviously got to the FA Cup final, I think, back in like 2018, but a lot of those players aren't here anymore. So, like with this kind of newish team, there needs to be that moment where they do actually win something, and then that hopefully changes the mentality and hopefully boosts the confidence as well. So yeah, for Ollie and for the players, it's a massive trophy and hopefully a stepping stone to better things.
No, I hear that. I do. John saying, can you tell Ciaran if Man U don't win the Europa League this season, then Arsenal would have had a better season? Won a
load of rubbish.
Well, to be brutally honest, if anyone actually respected the Community Shield, it wasn't actually called Community. The fact that it is a charity cup, like that all money goes to charity. Like the fact that all money goes to charity, and at one point it was sponsored by McDonald's. I don't think anyone takes it that seriously.
As we're playing Soccer Aid.
Exactly. Lanzi saying Villarreal are winning 1-0. I don't think United are not. I don't think United are not scoring. Right? I mean, let's be very clear in that. But let's work our way through this. So we'll start with the captain. It's unlikely unless Ollie is doing some of the biggest shithousery I've ever seen from a Manchester United manager since Fergie. Maguire ain't playing. I'll start with you, Ciaran. What is the probability of Harry Maguire leading that team out tomorrow?
Probably 1% is being generous, to be honest. I doubt it. I mean, listen, Ollie, he's not the type of guy that does these sort of mind games, but I just think that if Maguire had any sort of inkling of playing, you would have seen him train. I mean, the fact he sat out of training, I just don't see how like a player who didn't even train the night before is going to be in the game. I mean, it'd be, if all of a sudden Maguire could take whatever allegedly the Man City players are giving Man City staff are giving Kevin De Bruyne to always recover from injury after 2 weeks. If he could take one of them pills and be ready for the final, that'd be great. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening. So yeah, I reckon probably next to nothing. Unfortunately.
You say about Ollie not doing mind games though. We've not seen Ollie in a cup final before. So this could be just one of them. And look, it would be so Fergie for him to go, it's unlikely he's gonna play. Oh, he's gonna sit out of training, and then the day after he's wearing the captain's armband leading Manchester United out at a European final. Like that would be so Fergie. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen that before. But Matt,
yes, he said McTominay was going to start and McTominay got benched. Something like that.
Fuck knows what you're on about, Kenny. Matt, probability of Maguire playing tomorrow.
I actually think he's going to play because he done this with De Gea against Liverpool last season at home. He said De Gea was out and then he was starting. I think Maguire's going to play. I've got a weird feeling that Maguire's going to play.
So out of 100 percentage, what's the chances?
I'm not going to go too high. Like I'll say about 30. I actually think he's got a chance of playing tomorrow. Do you know?
Going from he's got a good chance. Yeah, I'm giving him 30%.
I'm not saying any more than 30. But like,
odds aren't quite there, is it? Sevilla beat United last season. Sevilla are more than capable of beating United. Difference is Sevilla are a much better team than Villarreal. Much better. But yeah. John, didn't Arsenal lose?
Don't say that, because then we'll go and lose to them.
Arsenal.
Big up to RJ though, who is saying hi. Didn't Arsenal beat United? Is that a trophy? Is it? Didn't Arsenal finish 8th? Right, Kenny. Probability, and answer this question only, nothing else. The probability of Harry Maguire walking United out as captain tomorrow. I don't know what he's doing.
Wait. I think that I'll have to read him on glasses, calculate that equation in my head. Yeah, he has 3x chance of playing.
3 what?
3x.
One minute, let me turn him up. Let me turn his volume up because he's as quiet as a freaking mouse over there. 1 minute, Kenny.
I think he has 3x chance of playing.
3x. Less of the fucking algebra, mate. I don't like algebra.
He has a 7% chance of playing. I think he'll play.
70, right? We can handle 70.
Or 3x.
United haven't won a trophy for 4 years.
3.
What?
Huh? Kenny, you're breaking in and you're breaking in and out, and you're talking shit, which is just standard for Kenny. If anyone watches this channel, you just know Kenny just chats shit. But Kenny, leave the stream, come back because your sound is utterly bad. It is. I don't know what you normally do, but it certainly isn't the normal. Unbelievable. Right. You have Xhaka as your captain and Leno as your keeper. You haven't tasted Champions League in like 8 years. Ha ha ha. Top 4. Right. So the rivals are out in force tonight. The rivals are out in force. So, okay. So Ciaran, you don't think that Maguire is going to start tomorrow?
I can't see it.
How much of a miss do you think that will be? And who's his replacement?
Well, I think obviously, the first question I think is a miss. I think we've seen since he hasn't been in the defence, we've conceded really sloppy goals. I mean, I'm not saying we didn't concede some sloppy goals when he was in defence. Let's make that clear. I mean, we did concede some really shocking, goals. Some goals he was at fault for, but actually, towards the back end of the season, he actually was doing pretty well. He was putting together a pretty good run with Lindelof. Actually, they look pretty solid. But yeah, I think it'll be a big miss, more just for his leadership. I think because without Maguire in there, there's no real leader at the back. I mean, obviously you could argue, Lindelof would be the leader, but then he's not really. He's got very little leadership qualities about him. So unfortunately, we're gonna miss that. We're gonna miss that. Maybe De Gea's gonna have to, if he starts, De Gea's gonna have to do a lot of the leading from the back. Which is
you didn't just utter the word Lindelof and leadership.
I just did. I did. He's gonna have to be.
So who's his replacement? Who's Maguire's replacement? Are you playing Tuanzebe, who Lindelof has looked very comfortable next to, or are you going to play Bailly that meant your defence was open like prostitutes?
Well, you've answered it for me, mate. You've answered it for me. I think you got to go with Tuanzebe. But as well, I saw him in the training. I think they're doing the training on the pitch, and I think I saw a picture on Twitter of Bailly getting treatment for something. So I'm not sure whether he's going to be fully fit anyway. But yeah, I think it's got to be Lindelof and Tuanzebe. Got to be.
Bailly getting an injury before a cup final? Nah, that would never happen. When have we ever heard that before? Oh wait, the last time you were in the Europa League final. Liam saying 2.4k views now, Niall, for my stream. Absolutely buzzing about that. So happy. You deserve it. That's a mega, Liam. Absolutely mega. If you do like darts, Liam sometimes chucks some darts out there. But Matthew, you think Maguire's going to start, but if you assume he doesn't, let's say he's injured. Firstly, how much of a miss is that? Secondly, who do you start instead of him?
If you'd asked me, if he got injured just before this game, I would have said it was a blessing. Maguire getting injured, but unfortunately, he's proven me wrong, and yeah, we do need him. It will be a big miss if he's not there. But I want Tuanzebe to play, and Tuanzebe can actually lead a back line. He's been captain at every level at Man United, so I think he could be a leader in the defence if he does play, and I think he will play. But I think Maguire.
I hear that. John saying RJ that is factually incorrect. We were last in the Champions League in 2017. The season you last won, the last time you won a trophy. John, I'm going to put this as politely as possible. You support Arsenal. There's levels to this. I'm an Argyle fan, and even I spend half my days bantering Arsenal. I mean, go check out my Twitter and Niall_PAFC, and I've got Arsenal versus Tottenham in the Championship. North London derby, of course. But Kenny, how much of a miss will Harry Maguire be if he doesn't play tomorrow? And if he doesn't, who should go in? Tuanzebe or Bailly? Or McTominay? That's why I put that one in there. Why not?
Or Fish.
The first question is me. Let me just put it this way: if we start Maguire, we get a 3-1 win. If we don't play, we'll lose 4-1. That's no.
It's nice. It's nice.
There's so much fault, lads. I'm saying this now,
it's hey RJ. 1 minute. First, RJ, 1 minute. Firstly, the English education system does not take into account Kenny. He is a education system himself. He can have his own education system. We're not responsible for that. But no, Kenny, that was arguably one of the most ridiculous things you've ever said on this channel, and you've said a lot.
No, that I meant 3-1, not 4-1.
Even 3-1, or
it's even bad, like seriously. We're not losing 3-1.
Maguire is such a miss, man, because he just
Kenny, can you do me a favour? 1 minute. Kenny, can you do me a favour and stop saying ridiculous shit like Sonny and start acting like a normal human being? That would be just swell. Because his football opinions are trash, and I'm starting to think yours are too. But moving from Kenny, because that was ridiculous.
No. Centre-back partnership should be Tuanzebe and Bailly.
Yes, because Ollie is absolutely going to drop Lindelof. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just today as well.
I think it could be. It will be Lindelof and Tuanzebe.
Next, he's going to fucking tell me he's going to be playing McTominay in goal.
You just said Maguire was starting earlier, and now you're saying it will be. Okay.
The 17%.
Well, no, in his defence there, I did ask him the question of if Maguire doesn't start, but Right, let me process all this.
Oh no, please, just
You-
just ignore him. Just ignore him.
It's okay. You banter Arsenal, who consistently win trophies, yet you duel over United, who have spent 300 million
Oh,
but
dear
haven't won a trophy for 4
Christ.
years. Firstly, I don't duel over United. That is factually incorrect, as you pointed out.
Jesus.
Secondly, I do duel over Mason Greenwood, who is better than your entire club combined. And United currently have got top 4 2 times in a row, where you have consistently in the last 2 years got 8th. So if you want to talk levels, I think there may be a bit of levels to the Manchester club than yours.
There's a bathroom.
That's all I'm going to say on this matter.
Toilet. Arsenal have team a toilet. How are you doing?
Kenny, I wasn't asking you for your opinion. Talk when you're spoken to, Kenny. Geez, do they not teach you any manners up there? But RJ, I want to ask you. No Maguire looks like. So, firstly, who should be his replacement? Secondly, how hard is it going to be without Maguire?
Firstly, I mean, Maguire's been a very essential part of our defense, let's be real, this season, and I think losing him especially is going to be a huge miss, especially during a final. We're taking a guy who knows this thing backwards. Unai Emery's won this 3 times in a row with Sevilla in the past, but obviously this is a different type of team in Villarreal. For his replacement, you have to go for Tuanzebe. I mean, it's very, very simple. Bailly does not work well with Lindelof because no one will take leadership in that centre back. You can see, obviously, Tuanzebe, he's young enough, but like I think Kenny said that he's captained all the younger
That
groups.
was
So
me.
at least
Don't compare me to Kenny.
Sorry. Apologies. Anyway, I know. But no, what I was saying was, look, what Kenny said about saying, 3-1 if we don't have Maguire. I mean, look, they've Gerard Moreno up top. Like, I mean, I know he scored against Arsenal, but we do not have our defenders are not like shit like David Luiz and fucking Gabriel. Like, he's not literally, mate. You've not seen him in La Liga. He is dog shit, mate. He is dog.
Have you seen him?
Yes, I have.
Kenny.
Anyway, but what I would say, look, it will be a tough game because, like I said, I don't think it's the players that we have to watch out for. It's what Unai Emery's going to do. He's won this so many times that he probably has a game plan already built in. It's just if Ollie kind of does something. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm praying Donny starts, but I know it won't happen, obviously, because, just how it is. But
it's okay, I'll get to the rest of the team. And RJ, you always fucking do this. You're always flying way ahead.
I give shouts to the players. I give shouts to other players, you mean?
I'm going to break your legs.
Okay, that's the La Liga, congratulations.
La Liga is a hard league, to be fair.
Is better than winning trophies, just as Spurs what they would rather pick. Well, it just says that United consistent. It just means that United consistently get Champions League football, and you consistently don't. But enjoy your FA Cup. Leicester won it this year. Arsenal have conceded. Okay, well, duh. If you want to do this, but United scored more than you. Come on. If you're gonna fight me, at least do an argument that actually resembles an argument. I am brutal when it comes to idiots. After some consideration, Villarreal are winning 2-1 as Bruno is scoring a pen. That would.
I hope West Ham get relegated. They're disgraced.
That would not be completely.
European tour for like 20 years. And fucking
What, the guy who had 20?
No. The funny thing is, like, just because we gave you Jesse Lingard, just doesn't mean that you're some big club, right? Look, Jesse Lingard's still our player. He's still under United contract.
Instead of bantering the rivals, I mean, Arsenal are no longer rivals.
West Ham are definitely not a rival.
They're a banter club. Everyone in agreement there's going to be a double pivot of Scott McTominay and Fred tomorrow?
Sadly.
Not sadly, it's worked all season, so as to protect the defence. So
it's not worked all season, man.
It's not as if Ollie's going to suddenly change something he's been doing all season in arguably the biggest game of your season.
He may
have a double creatine and whey protein, like.
He may have a double pivot of fucking Van der Beek and Pogba tomorrow. You never know.
I mean, I love that.
That one
I don't
definitely
think you
not.
would, because that would open your defence up more than prostitutes.
Yeah, we need McTominay and Fred. We actually do need McTominay and Fred without Maguire, definitely.
Oh, well, yeah, especially if you're playing Lindelof.
Not
at
next
back.
season, though, but yeah.
So we've identified that. I'm guessing the right back is going to be Wan-Bissaka. I'm assuming Ollie's not going to do a madness.
No, apparently to add, like, Brandon Williams is shit, so we can't start him that. So it is what it is.
Well, Ad says Brandon Williams is shit.
Yeah, I think she was.
Okay, it's okay. This guy also rates Fred, so I'm judging his footballing opinions are going woo. They're going down. They're currently yelling timber. Dear me.
Oh man, this guy is fucking desperate as shit, man.
That's a straw man.
Yes. Well,
Because
basically,
Arsenal get less attacks for them.
No, I didn't.
the only goals you
I did
can
not
ever
call you defensive.
beat. Okay then.
Just making up stuff now.
Oh, I hate Brandon.
Okay. Well,
First
They-
in North End.
they're the minute Kenny Shush. United are the only team that won the treble. You never be
won the
that.
Champions League. Never won the Champions League.
So-
Kenny's younger than the treble. Sink that in, lads.
Even Lanzi saying it quite. Velveschwan is doing a Velveschwan. That's just Velveschwan. You learn to like him. But yeah, Wan-Bissaka playing right back. I'm sure we're all in agreement. I'm guessing Luke Shaw left back. There's your defence sorted. Goalkeeper. De Gea Henderson.
Hey,
Hey,
simple.
Yeah,
He's going. I'd rather Dean Henderson, but the hell will start.
Of course you would. Of course you would. You fucking.
What's that meant to mean?
Because you've been literally sucking him off all season, mate.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
No, he.
Yes, he.
Literally, his
Take your
performance
English,
in that Liverpool
take your
game
English
was fucking-
agenda glasses off. Take your English
You know,
agenda
keep
glasses
your
off.
Brexit agenda out of here, mate. Like, we all know what you want. We know that you want like Ben White to sign instead of like anyone else.
Oh,
in
I
Europe.
absolutely do not. No.
Nah.
That's too far.
I know you want Declan Rice.
Actually, talking to Ben White, I've got an interesting video tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me. Tomorrow, 3 p.m.
The fact that you did the England team, that's a fucking disgrace. Like, but anyway.
Yeah, tomorrow, 3 p.m. We got a sort of a data analytical show. I've gone and got stats from Botman, Varane, Torres, Koundé, Ben White, Ben Godfrey, Harry Maguire, and Victor Lindelof. And we're going to be having a little look and trying to work out. I've got all their values as well, so I'm going to work out who is best for United to get and on what budget. I'm assuming the 70. I'm assuming 70 or 80. Right. At least respond to my comment properly now. Matthew called it. Yeah, cool. If the comment bores me, if the comment bores me halfway through, I stop reading it. It goes on screen there. So you won 3 Premier League titles in one season? Well, no. They won a Premier League, a Champions League, and an FA Cup. I'm just gonna allow you. I fight with Gunners all the time. If you want to fight with me, I'll set up a stream and I'll just brutally annihilate all of you. Or find me on Twitter. Find me on Twitter and I'll destroy you there and I'll go get.
Arsenal fan.
Fuck knows. Probably because they're salty because today or a few weeks ago, someone has come across my Europa League preview photo that I put up about a couple of weeks ago with Manchester United versus Arsenal. It's not my fault that you lot got dumped out by Unai Emery. So yeah, pipe down. And I had Mikel Arteta on there, but I guess he's a forward. But where the fuck were we? Right, so we've done goalkeeper. RJ means Brexit. Matt like
I'm the opposite. I'm like diversity. You know, Matthew's like fucking Brexit means Brexit.
Absolutely not.
To be
You
fair,
just want fucking
I-
you
Like Nigel Farage or something.
you want a retirement home in our team. You want Ronaldo back. You want De Gea starting. You want a fucking.
Okay, like I'm sorry.
Firstly, the reason I can't give a good response is because firstly, if you hadn't got the title, it's called a Europa League Final preview. Secondly, you're boring me. To be brutally honest with you, the BTEC Leicester don't come into the conversation, so shush Velveschwan. Oh, these Gunners, I swear they have nothing better to do. Ciaran's like looking away, he's like, fuck me, this and that. So we've done the double pivot. Bruno, do you think Bruno will start tomorrow?
Niall, check my DM. It's about Bruno and Wan-Bissaka.
I think we're going to give a youth player a chance. I think
No,
Hannibal-
like, come on.
Hannibal,
It would be very ballsy, but like, Ollie would never do that. Like,
It'd be funny.
Which
I don't
youth
know.
player? Which youth player is
it'd be Hannibal Mayhori. Hannibal.
Kenny? Is that legit?
I think so.
Kenny, is that full on legit?
I think.
What?
I think
This is from the United report. Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Bruno Fernandes look set to miss out in the Europa League Final against Villarreal on Wednesday.
Okay, nah, that's sus, man. That, literally,
Yeah,
Bruno
look at the
was in
account.
the press conference.
I'm gonna
it's
go
not for
back.
the, it's not for the real
Press
one.
conference, you fucking live man.
If he's done what I think he's done, I'm just gonna boot him from the
I
stream.
got it on my website. I got it from
Nah,
my
the
Website,
account,
like fucking.
the account definitely has about 100 followers.
friend on website.
Oh, yo, actually, I'm not gonna talk.
Is it fake news?
Sorted.
My God.
So
My heart dropped there. My heart actually dropped.
it's okay. So
I
he's
mean, no, to be fair, like, imagine like a fucking midfield of like fucking McFred and fucking Hannibal, like that is just like.
Well, no, you'd probably it would actually save Ollie a decision that we'll get to in a second, because I'd assume you'd play Pogba there, and then Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, Cavani through the middle. But we'll get into that one in a second. Kenny has obviously just been dumped out the stream. I didn't ban him; I just kicked him. Right, what were we talking about? Kenny's a bullshit prick.
We're talking about Bruno.
Oh, right, Bruno.
They
Yeah.
like more
We're all assuming Bruno's playing tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyone?
He's definitely got a high % chance.
Nick.
The fact that he was in the press conference today, I think he might have an impact on the team. You never know.
Last minute sub.
And Bruno was
Andrew saying breaking news. No, bad news for United fans. McFred have been passed.
It's not bad news. We actually need them tomorrow.
Mate, no. The fact that you said that we need them, that just shows
We
you
do.
that we're not a big club anymore.
It's okay though.
We
do
need a
need-
CDM. We need a pre. No, like.
No, we
No,
need them tomorrow. We don't have a CDM now. We can't just buy a CDM for
I
tomorrow.
mean, no. I'll be honest, right? I would instead of McFred, right? And this is, I don't know if it's a. If Matic did not have to play against Wolves, right? I would play him, Pogba, and Bruno in the midfield
You'd rather Matic?
over the McFred pivot. I just don't believe it anymore. I just think we can get rid of it.
Oh, Jay,
It's
it's
to
not like
protect
that.
the centre. It's to protect the centre.
Oh, Jay, it's not like that. McFred pivot has served you so well and got you second place in the league, but it's cool.
That's
It's
a
cool. I don't know who's removing Kenny.
I'm not doing it. You did that.
I didn't. Fuck knows. But the sort of the bit that we need to discuss really is the decision. So, I mean, do you think Greenwood should? We'll start with Greenwood. Should he start?
Yes.
He's our most informed player for both of them. Isn't
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's 6 goals in 8 games. So
Yeah.
he is your most informed player. He's the only player that can play on the right, unless you want to put Dan James there.
Oh no! Fuck. Do you see his miss against Wolves? Christ.
I did.
No, his face was beautiful.
Cool.
Like,
Matthew sitting not
Weak foot.
Ciaran looked like he was thinking. What do you think?
Well, no. I agree. No, to be fair, I was thinking because I agree that Greenwood should start, but I'm thinking that Ollie won't do it because Ollie, even though we know it doesn't work, he'll put Rashford on that right hand side. I think he'll put Rashford on that right hand side. I think Ollie will. I agree with you guys in the sense. I agree Greenwood should start. He's our most informed player. For me, it's a no-brainer to start him on that right hand side. But
if he doesn't start Greenwood might actually take it very badly, considering his age, how well he's been doing. I think Greenwood would take it ridiculously badly, and it might not be. I don't think it works out there. I don't think it will have the desired effect that Ollie would assume it would. I think you're going to have a dejected Mason Greenwood who is most likely going to miss out on the years from how dickhead Southgate's talking. So I don't think that works, especially if you're then requiring Mason Greenwood come on after with 20 minutes to go to try and win you the game. I don't think it has a desired effect. I think it may genuinely annoy and possibly get to Greenwood in the wrong way.
With all his man management, the way he'll explain to him his decision if he doesn't start, and he'll reassure him that it's nothing to do with his
I don't think there's anything Ollie can say that would be fair enough for Mason Greenwood to not be starting. Oh, I'm sorry, Mason. I'm going to try this whole Rashford on the right for the 19th time and wait for it to fall flat on its face after the 19th attempt. I honestly, thinking of it, you can't put Pogba there because Pogba is ineffective. You can't play Rashford there because Rashford's ineffective.
I wouldn't even start Rashford playing with an injury. I personally
wouldn't. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. But do you think that Ollie may genuinely? I think Greenwood's form as well. I think Greenwood may have just forced himself in. I don't think Ollie can turn around and not to put him in there. Because I think if you're putting him on the bench, you'll have a ghastly negative effect on Greenwood. Don't think it. I don't. And if you want Greenwood to then come on and affect the game, I don't think Greenwood's mentally ready for doing that.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree that he wouldn't be able to come off the bench and make an impact. I think Rashford, he's mature. Well, I'm not saying Greenwood's not mature, but I think Rashford's mature enough to make an impact off the bench. He knows he can't start every game, but I don't think Greenwood could make an impact for 20 minutes. I think he needs a whole game.
Yeah. What about you, Ciaran? What do you think of what we're talking about Greenwood?
Well, as I said, I feel like probably Ollie will look to start Rashford, but I agree. I would start Mason Greenwood. I just think it's ridiculous to even think that putting Rashford on that right hand side is going to be more beneficial for the team, because it clearly isn't. And when you've got a player in that sort of form, scoring goals right foot left foot, I just don't understand why you wouldn't use him. And I can understand, I guess, wanting to bring him off on the bench, and maybe against tired legs he'd have an even bigger impact. But I think when you've got the luxury of having someone like Marcus Rashford as well, as Matthew was saying, obviously he's got a little bit of an injury as well.
He's been really
he hasn't been great. He hasn't.
He's been well, to put it as politely as possible. I mean, I know he's been, but he has been utterly horrific the past few months. So I mean,
his numbers are up there.
I don't think he can give less of a shit. I suppose the thing is, this is arguably the biggest game of your season. If he doesn't start Mason, do you then think Mason starts thinking it through, maybe going, I'm not trusted, all of that? That could sour that relationship, which has been blossoming, mind you. The Ollie Mason, it's been blossoming. Do you think that could sour quite quickly, being the biggest game of your season?
I mean, in some way, yeah. I mean, obviously, I guess for players, when you miss out, especially when you think you deserve to be starting a final and then you don't get picked, that is going to piss you off a lot. But I think as well, exactly, yeah. I mean, it does piss you off because you just feel like, I mean, Greenwood scored goals which has helped us get us here as well. He's been a big part of getting us to the Europa League Final. So I think with Greenwood as well, he might be looking ahead and going, well, if I'm not getting in this team now, and we're looking to bring in someone like a Sancho, and if he's already favouring Rashford over me, Sancho could be coming in. Where am I fitting in here? Because if Cavani's going to stay, obviously I could be the future number 9, and who knows what's going to happen when Cavani leaves at the end of next season. But Greenwood might be thinking, unless Ollie kind of pulled him aside, Greenwood might be thinking, where am I gonna fit in here? I'm sure he'll want to stay, but it will be a big decision for Ollie to make, and I think he might not start Greenwood.
Upsetting Greenwood, or even, God forbid, pissing him off, might not be the greatest way for Ollie to. And look, Ollie's man management has been brilliant so far. If he does have a Greenwood that's annoyed and that's upset because of him, it's always a slippery slope. I mean, Greenwood is obviously very close to Cavani, probably closer to Cavani than Cavani is with Ollie. Greenwood is close to a fair few. I mean, he's close to Brandon Williams, who's close to Marcus Rashford. So if this isn't done properly, then this could be quite a messy decision for Ollie. I suppose on the other flip side, if he does start Greenwood, who do you start on the left? Pogba, Rashford. Who starts for you?
Well, I think if you've already got McTominay and Fred in there, then I think Pogba goes on the left. My view.
Pogba on the left.
Wouldn't start Rashford, so I would put Pogba there. But Pogba can make an impact off the bench. He's certainly done it against PSG and in the one where we were in the Champions League and against AC Milan in the quarterfinals. So if he is on the bench, he can definitely make an impact off the bench.
Who starts up front? That's one of the who's
Cavani. Give it to Eddie Cavani. No.
Excellent. But no, I hear that. Before we wrap up, because this isn't going to be an awfully long stream, because we're going to be obviously live tomorrow. Team sheets obviously coming out. I'll be on the first XI for a watch along. If Greenwood doesn't start, I'll be calling for Ollie's head. Literally, I'll be calling him for. I'll be saying some absolutely horrific things. And if Southgate doesn't take him to Euros, go fuck yourself. And literally, in fact, I'll just send you to China and you can go work in China. You absolute cunt. I dislike Southgate already. Don't take Greenwood, and that dislike's gonna go quite fucking high. But no, score predictions for tomorrow. Ciaran, we'll start with you. Do you think you'll win it? If so, what's the score?
I think we'll win. I think it'll be quite a close game. Because I just think defensively Villarreal aren't too bad, but I just think our attack will have too much for them. I think we'll just overpower them a little bit. So I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win. 2-1.
I hear that. What about you, Matt?
I'm going for an exciting game. I think it's going to be like the Southampton game. I think we're going to go 2-0 down and win 3-2. I hope so anyway. That'd be fucking amazing. That'd be great.
Would not surprise me. And Kenny, what about you?
I think it will be a game of a lot of goals. So I'm going to go United 4, Villarreal 3.
Excellent.
All the previous meetings have been 0-0. All the previous meetings of Villarreal have been 0-0. We're all predicting.
Yeah.
0-0 extra time, 0-0 penalties, and 1-0 on penalties.
Good evening to that record.
Yes, 100%. But look, we're going to wrap it up there. 45 minutes. There's not much else to talk about. Really, we've pretty much discussed every position. There's not really going to be any shocks. I can't think of anything else. No, that's pretty much it. I think we've covered all bases. Anything else will just be completely boring. Congratulations, Matthew. But before we go, please leave a like on the video. Cool. Can you tell Ciaran after stream? Come on, which sports channel so I can smoke him intelligent?
You made a great fist of it so far, mate.
Yeah.
You've done well so far, but yeah.
Come on at 8 past 11.
I presume intellectually you mean chat some shit and then go back again. Sure.
Yeah.
One of the worst people I've ever had on in my comments. Just chucking that out there now. And I've had Kenny in my comments. But Kenny, shush. But before you go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Check out our socials on Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, on Instagram, Let's Talk EPL_, and on TikTok at Let's Talk Premier League. But Ciaran, where can they find you, mate?
Red Door Weekly on YouTube and on Twitter as well.
This is true, Lanzi. This is very true. Probably 50 though. But Matt, what about you?
Just on
no, John. If you were intelligent or intellectually able to process what I said. If I meant you were the greatest person in my comments, I'd have said you were the greatest person in my comments. You were the worst. But Matt, what about you?
Just MSC6921 on Twitter.
I hear that. And Kenny, what about you?
You can find me at Niall at PAFC on Twitter, and you can find me at.
Are you trying to be like Bob?
Yeah.
You're trying to be like Bob.
On Kenny TV, there you go.
Yes, I hear. Big up, Alvin. Sorry I am late now. Big up to you, mate. Not a problem. We're in fact just ending it. We were literally just ending it. I'll be heading over to the first XI. They're doing a squad builder, so I need to find a way of. Now you were crying when the Super League was announced. Well, of course, because I actually have an intelligent brain and knew.
Everybody was.
Football. But do go fuck yourself. But I tend to not hold back. You'll learn that one day. But I'll be over on the first XI if anyone wants to tune in over there. Squad builder. So I need to find a way of getting Mason Greenwood into that team, of course. But until next time, thanks for watching. We'll be back, as I say, tomorrow, 3 p.m. with Transfer Talk. But until then, thanks for watching and goodbye.